Oral Sludge reporting live. You notice I haven't been talking much lately. I'm still mourning the death of that woman, Miss Good, out in Minneapolis where we used to live, and I'm just trying to imagine what kind of person it takes to not only stand in front of a vehicle, but to get out of its way and continue firing into the face of a female, an unarmed female. And at the same time, there's some protests going on, sure, but I thought we had a Congress. I thought there should be an emergency session of Congress. I thought there should be, um, like I mentioned, our our complete shutdown of the system on January 15th in protest of all of this madness should happen. Tomorrow I'm going to work with the university to pioneer this, put websites up and get it in social media, try to get at least $50,000 to advertise it around the globe so we can put an end to this. But test the litmus test to see if my suggestions really do make changes. But I hope you all are having a good Sunday, and praise God that you're not in Venezuela right now trying to figure out what's going to happen next, because they were walking around thinking everything was fine, just like you do every day, thinking everything was fine. And powers that be decided to come in and take their oil because they were doing other stuff too, apparently. So it also brings up the question to me, since we had a war in Afghanistan and drugs come out of Afghanistan, why didn't we destroy any of the poppy fields in Afghanistan that created that narcotic that killed so many people over the dozens and dozens of years, the heroin and whatnot? There was no agenda that I could see or do I recall placed in the media about imposing sanctions or controlling the fields. Apparently there was, I don't know everything, but I didn't see any. We didn't hear it on the news, how many fields were burned and how many lives were saved because we took action to stifle the network. It's curious now that just after pardoning a guy who was found guilty of 400 tons of cocaine being distributed, he just pardoned him, and then suddenly started attacking what I would imagine to be his competition's boats, the person he pardoned. That's just a random thought, just a logical synopsis of an idea. So if you can't see the things I see, then I don't know what page you're on, but we're living in a time where anything can happen. So when my God told me to get us off the mainland, he had a reason. So we're off in the Pacific, but we're going to need to pivot anytime soon as well. There's 14 military bases on these islands, and all of them are nuclear capable. So yeah, we're 2,300 miles away from LA, surrounded by fish, whales, and sharks. So I need to get a boat. Otherwise, tomorrow's first day of school for me. I got to go back. I have to go look at my classes, find out where all my classes are. Taking, I think, 7 or 8 classes this semester, which is beyond my capabilities. So I have to drop them tonight when I come back down to look at the schedule. But these parameters that put me on a 232 or 231 credit trajectory toward graduation is preposterous. It's part of the system they set up at universities around this country. And just like the cost of childcare needs to be addressed, the school system and its inability to sync across the board so that each credit counts at each university needs to be revamped. I've been going to school for 27 years or longer, and only have one degree. Praise God for that one degree. So my heart goes out to Minneapolis, all the residents there, all the people that are still in shock, the turmoil that's going to unfold once the mayor and the governor both decide to send out the National Guard. And when they start observing, when police and National Guard begin observing federal agents acting illegally to arrest them and put them in jail, this will be a milestone. So when the local cops start arresting the feds, this is where you get borderline next level stuff. So too bad Congress hasn't said anything. It's a quiet chamber with all your elected officials sitting there, not having an emergency session, not countering any of these orders out, not creating a new vision for our nation or any healing tactics. We don't expect it from the leader, and we don't expect it from the vice president, and we don't expect it from the Speaker of the House. So we would have to look at our Congress for the healing power that we normally would look to by the president, our elected officials. So, pick up your phones, go to Washington, D.C. in person, observe the 3-hour shutdown or 3-hour sick call to freeze ice to show our economic power, and don't buy anything for 3 hours from noon to 3 p.m. in your local time zone. On the 15th of January, Martin Luther King's birthday, to show the nation that we can stop the money flow just faster than you can. You want to start laying people off, you want to start firing folks, we can just stop, and you won't know which way to turn, and we can do it at any given moment. So please get this right. Make America the land that people want to come to, and is the shining example of humanity, dignity, respect, and freedom all over the world. Make America the country that other countries aspire to be. That's what the men in the field out there with the crosses over their heads, they believed. That's what they died for. That's when they got off of a wooden boat with bullets flying every direction at them and courageously went into the water to march on the beach 3 steps and found their heart exploded or their legs blown off or their brain shot out, knowing in that instant that they were doing it because they're going to make America a beautiful place, a place that is the envy of the world. There would be freedom for their families. There would be equality for people. Maybe not so much equality was not in their minds, but I know they were talking about freedom a lot during the war. And that's why a lot of men were convinced that they had to go out and fight for freedom and give their lives for freedom. So when I watch ICE grabbing people, asking people, attacking people, shooting people, macing people, putting smoke bombs in people's cheeks, it doesn't resemble what I had been taught to believe America is supposed to look like. Because if this is what we all wanted as a democracy, then every single one of us would be pointing out the illegal immigrant. Every single one of us would be going, he's over there, get him. But you see, that's not happening. It's not happening. So this entire process needs to be rethunk. Oral Sludge reporting live. Personal commentary and personal perspective on January 11, 2026. Right on Earth. Third planet from the sun. For now. You never know when he's coming back. I'm up and outie. Peace.